release for ignition and liftoff, and all systems are go.
Welcome to the Lesbo and The Bean universe. Lesbo and The Bean. LATB, LaTB, where mixed martial arts and the UFC get silly. Big silly. Buckle up and move your tray tables to their upright position. And please, somebody shut that baby up. It's time for Lesbo and The Bean.
With the UFC 228 main card, our girl finally getting her gold.
So, the first pay-per-view fight of the night, we have Nico Price coming in against Abdul Razak Al-Hassan. The judoka, 9-1, coming in against Nico Price is 12-1. Price has been a heavy underdog in many fights and really cashed here at LaTB. We tend to like him a lot. I actually went against him for the first time in a while against Rude Boy, and man was I shut up. Lesbo came in picking heavy against Price, and we know what Price likes to do. He's got evolving striking, good ground game, can take a beating, and has heart and cardio. Al-Hassan is a one-round muscle ball. At 33 years old, his judo, he's stiff in there, has tons of power, but as soon as he gets out of that first round, I'd say 4 minutes into the fight, you can see Al-Hassan is a completely different puncher. So if this goes into the second or third round, it's only a matter of time till that judo doesn't help out anymore and Nico Price starts to style. I think Nico on the striking is where he's in the most danger due to that power, but as the fight goes on, that really goes out the door and Nico tends to get his takedowns going as the fight goes on. I got a second or third round finish for Nico Price, the underdog, at plus 125 against Al-Hassan. I am so excited for this fight. Who do you have?
I also have a finish for Nico Price, but I have a submission round too, and I just agree with you in the cardio and the tiredness of Al-Hassan is just going to add up. Nico Price is one of those next level guys. I do think he is a top 10 guy in the division, and I think some people are still sleeping on Nico Price. I don't think Al-Hassan has a bad chin, and I don't think Nico Price has tons of power, so I just think it'll just be an easy submission. I do like finish. I see a technical knockout of like ground and pounds where Al-Hassan just turtles up and is too tired to throw anything else, so the ref calls it. I see that too, but I feel like Nico Price could just go for a submission because Al-Hassan gives up his back because he has no more cardio left by round 2.
Submission, round number 2, I feel like I'm going to stick with. You know something here at LaTB. If we're both on the same round, same finish, we seeing something. I do believe it's at a plus 200 for a submission Nico Price on the prop lines right now, so I'm liking that as well off the top.
I like
just
it.
So you know.
I like Nico Price. I don't like Al-Hassan anywhere, but
yeah,
I do
agree.
like my Nico
And even
Price.
on DraftKings, 8,300 again for Al-Hassan against 7,900.
What Nico Price should do though is there's like videos on YouTube, and even my yoga teacher that I like on YouTube, Yoga with Adrian, check it out. She's awesome. But he needs something to stand up straight. He has really curled posture.
Yeah, I agree. He has a very unique posture that doesn't look beneficial to his frame.
No, he needs to stand up straight.
Stick his chest out.
Yeah.
Roll his shoulders
Stick your
back.
chest out.
So you were watching what, Jessica Andrade, or what was that online? What yoga is that again? Yoga with Andrade?
Yoga with Adrian.
Oh, nice. So, the next one is a strawweight bout. We have Andrade versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz. You like that? I feel like I worked on it. I feel like I worked on it. This is definitely a top 5 fight in the 115 division. We like both of these ladies. 12-2 for Kowalkiewicz, being the minus or plus 300 underdog against Andrade is 18-6. Andrade has really been the one in the UFC to reinvent herself from a power puncher to an all-around hard fight with brutal takedowns, big slams, and she's really gotten her cardio up to par. For me, these are the two women knocking on the door against that belt in there with Rose and JJ. Karolina tends to be the much better striker and on the ground can be outworked, and that's where I think a lot of people are seeing this and why KK is the favorite. She's the much more one-dimensional fighter where Andrade has rounded out her game to be the all-around better fighter. Power I give to Andrade as well, but this has got decision written all over for me. I love both ladies. I love KK. Love her stance. We're big fans here, but I am going to side with the favorite, with Andrade. I think takedowns end up factoring the most here.
Oh, I love Carolina. I don't think she's one of the top ladies in the division. I just love her personality so much. I think she's more of a gatekeeper, and I think that will forever be her role. Jessica Andrade, she is I believe, the scariest villain on the other side of Rose's hero wearing that belt. I think Andrade is the woman who actually takes it from her.
Woo!
Each fight that we watch Jessica Andrade in gets progressively better and better and better and better. And nothing against, I mean, obviously, Rose handled JJ, but I feel like we're seeing a different JJ in there, and maybe Rose did that to her. Maybe she took away her confidence somewhere. Or maybe we could say it was Jessica Andrade that slowly did something to JJ that the JJ Rose met was never the same.
Yeah, it took something from her.
Yeah, like maybe Andrade is that. So I think Andrade is the most dangerous thing in the division, and I actually think Rose will have to change her game plan completely to beat her and try to submit her somehow. But what we saw Andrade do to Claudia Gadelha should scare every woman in the 115.
That's a good point.
I got Andrade ground and pound round 2 finish, and it is going to break all our hearts so much to watch, and I actually think that it will be an early stoppage because the ref won't even want to watch it happen to KK. So, Andrade on all my cards.
Oh, see, it ain't so.
I know.
Even for 9,100 on Andrade against 7,100, I mean, she has to get a finish.
I think she will.
9,100 for Andrade.
Yeah, I think she will get a finish.
She has to get around 100 points on DraftKings in order to pay
KK doesn't
that off.
lay enough punches. She's not a JJ with the amount of punches she throws. She's not a Bullet with the amount of punches she throws, and she has 0 ground game.
Yeah, and her takedown defense is getting better, but it's not the best against somebody who's really got good takedowns in there now.
Super strong.
Yep, exactly.
Super strong.
We're going to see some slams.
Yeah.
We're going to see some slams.
It's going to be a painful one to watch.
Say it ain't so. KK, you know I got you, girl. KK, do I love you?
That would be awesome if that was the Lesbo and The Bean video.
So
would somebody do that out there?
So
you could put his face on it. Hey, KK, do I love you? Do you?
Yeah, I don't know the rest of it either. I don't know the rest of it. Then we go to another brutal beatdown. We have Zabit Magomedsharipov against Brandon Davis. The names are coming in hot, and I feel like I'm slaying some motherfucking dragons in here. We have Yair.
Some Russian dragon.
Yair.
Or Polish.
He's Russian.
Yeah, but isn't KK Polish?
Oh, KK, yes. So, Yair didn't want this fight. Brandon Davis is coming off of a loss and was like, whatever, I'll fight anyone. What Brandon Davis does here is, no matter what, he doesn't get cut. This is a favor for the UFC. He's coming in short notice. He's a huge underdog at, I don't even know the exact odds, but I thought it was in that minus 400 range. Zabit, definitely 15-1, a whirlwind in there, throws all sorts of heavy stuff. Though his hands are not as crisp as you would think. He throws a lot of flash, a lot of spinning stuff, and his cardio can keep him there. Good takedown defense on the ground, nasty as hell. But he really keeps his hands low and doesn't defend as well. He uses movement well. I don't think that Davis is going to be the one to exploit Zabit. I think Zabit just outchecks him too many ways. But I do think that there's going to be a point in time where Zabit's going to come in there against higher level guys that are going to be able to check his chin a bit more. I'm just saying, I got the favorite. I think he finishes it in round 2 or 3 because Davis is a tough nugga, and he's going to end up showing, well, he's not going to lose it. Davis has nothing to lose here, but I can't put anything on him. I think Zabit's just waiting for that stylistic matchup to bet against. I'm waiting because those hands, when I was looking at footage, they're low, and he puts his head into spots on that athleticism. I think some leg kicks and body shots slow as a beatdown, and it's a different match in there. I don't think Davis does it, but just saying. How do you feel this one goes down?
It does. 2 things are going to happen with Zabit. They're going to do him no favors by feeding him fights to win. So they're padding his record in the same style that they're friggin' doing Khabib. I know everyone hates to say it, but it's a similar style. I know Khabib's last 3 fights have been legit, but up to those points of like the fish. Anyway, I think be wary of how long Zabit could even make this weight. Be very weary on that. I believe we're going to start watching him have really difficult weight cuts coming in and maybe not even making the weight to begin with. There is no way a guy his height with a chest as wide as his can cut to this level for too long. So if he is a young man, which I'm doubting that, he could be 45. If he is a young man, the second his body hits the 28 to 32 mark, the making weight is going to be that much harder and that much more difficult. And I think it could take a toll. It won't be this fight. He's going to win because this is another padded record fight.
Short notice.
That with Brandon Davis on a short notice, he should be able to eke out a submission by round 3. But Zabit's just one of those overrated guys that I can't jump on the bandwagon yet.
9,400 for Zabit against 6,800 for Brandon Davis. I don't know.
Your
if
money's
I'm
better
gonna
spent
close.
on Andrade and Shevchenko if you're going to spend that high of money.
I could potentially see that, but there is quite a few underdogs that I feel like I can put a bunch of underdogs and then put like a Zabit / I don't know. Shev's pretty heavy duty. We're gonna get there, but we're gonna get there on the next one. Actually, we have the co-main event in Nico Montano against Valentina Shevchenko. This is the biggest line we've ever seen for a challenger ever. It's at minus 1,300 for Shevchenko. And was it last night that we were texting amongst each other and I was like, no way it gets over 14. And we're seeing booking lines at minus 14 for
Yeah, I think the highest one I
Valentina.
saw was $14.50 last night.
For Valentina. There's no
$14.40.
value in there. You have to put down $14 to win one. Or $1,400 to win $100. Nico Montano is just getting no
if you
respect
were gonna
at all.
if you were gonna bet me money and I was taking Shevchenko and you were taking Montano, what would you make the odds?
And I would think Montano would win?
Yeah.
Like, what is the real price? Or I think a real price that it should be? Because it's been steamed. I think 5-1 was even. I think 5-1, that's right odds for Valentina.
I don't know if I've ever been more sure of a fight.
That's what I love about MMA. A head kick, anything can change.
A quick submission, a crazy quick armbar.
We've seen it before. We've seen people get caught with an elbow. We've seen people...
We've seen
knock
Dragon
out-
Slave.
Exactly.
We've seen Dragon Slave just in
And
the last few
I
months.
ain't even saying that. I don't want to jinx it. I ain't saying that. Because you know how we are going to have to switch from Valentina Shevchenko to another fighter after this. If everything goes as planned. But I
If
just
you follow
can't
the
bet.
show and don't know what we're talking about with that, we have one woman and one man that we've been following for over years.
Until they're champs.
Longer, until they're champs, and then we switch up to somebody else. Shevchenko will be retired if she gets a belt. We'll put her a planet somewhere on the wall back here, and we'll have to replace her with a new woman who we think is a far out prospect that we do one day think is going to wear the belt. But we've been on the Shevchenko bandwagon since longer than anyone else I know. We thought she was going to beat Holly. We thought she was going to, we've been on it.
Yep.
We've been on it.
On it,
So it's sad that we have to let her go, but I've never been more sure about a fight.
We've been on it so much, Joe Rogan's about to start sponsoring us.
Boom.
So, we both got Shevchenko. It's whether you have a finish or not in this fight.
Five rounds.
Both women have went 5 rounds. Nico Montano's went 5 rounds
Yeah,
twice.
she went 5 rounds with a librarian. Shevchenko's gone 5 rounds with Amanda motherfucking Nunes. I'm just saying.
Twice.
No, one time is 3 rounds.
Oh, true.
1 time's 5. But 2 times she's gone the distance with the champ that's about to fight Cyborg and for all intents and purposes actually has a shot at beating her. Shevchenko's gone the distance with that woman twice. And some people think that she won that dirty split. So, Nico Montano, there isn't a woman in the whole tough house that's tougher than the woman Shevchenko wakes up in the same house with every day and her sister.
Who is who won her fight and is going to be introduced to the 135
Nico
pound
Montano
division.
might fight Antonia next.
Oh, I would love that.
It's kind of a perfect. Nah, it's a little much from the belt to.
Yeah, for that big of
somebody
a
off the
drop,
Tough
someone
House.
debuting. Totally.
I'm not trying to disrespect Montano, and I don't mean to disrespect her, but whatever. This division disrespected what the belts meant to UFC champions when it came out to begin with. So Shevchenko getting this belt puts respect on the title that what hasn't been there yet. And no offense to Montano.
Yeah, it's not her fault.
It's not her fault.
Not at all.
So her going out there and putting a tough fight in and not getting murked like the last person Shevchenko fought will be validation that the division isn't a sleeper division. It'll just be a little validation that maybe there's tough women in there. If she goes out and murks Montano, it's not only going to be, everyone's going to want to fight Shevchenko for her now belt, thank goodness. Otherwise, it's going to be, and they're going to have to work ladies up like that only had one fight that or like a Jessica I. She's on all losses, one win, and she's going to get to fight the champion because the division's like the Chris Cyborg division.
A little stagnant.
Yeah. So, anyways, Shevchenko, I'm going to have a ground and pound finish the same way as her last fight, but round 2.
I'm going to say this is a decision fight. I'm going to give credit to Montano. I don't think she gets finished in there. I think she is tough as nails. I think it's a one-sided fight. I think it's a 50-45. I think all 5 rounds go to Shevchenko. But I think that as Montano is a very proud person, and she has been in there in tough fights.
Pride will get you nowhere.
Yeah, true.
She has not had even an iota of tough as. What I don't even understand how she stays alive. Pena.
I think she spams takedowns nonstop because if you're not striking, then you're using takedowns. And
Pena has a better ground game than Montano. Nunes way better ground game than Montano. Holly Holm better ground game than Montano. Sarah Kaufman or McMahon or Kaufman. Either way, both better ground game than Montano. I love my bullet, and this isn't even confirmation bias.
So, how much are you willing to play her on your DraftKings?
As everywhere I can afford her. Every single time I can afford her, I will put her on a card.
Again, 6,600.
If you think Montano is really going to make it 5 rounds, you should put her everywhere.
I'm not going to put her everywhere. I can't for those odds. But 6,600.
Because you are the only person that I have heard that thinks she's going to make it
to decision.
So I feel like if you really feel that could be something that makes your cards.
And I do feel like there's a prop bet in a decision Shevchenko because that's going to be at plus
It's going to
odds.
be at 14. If this is at 14 now, that's going to be at 23 by opening.
But that
a decision win
plus money.
Shevchenko?
I would think it's plus money.
Yeah. By opening odds, you'll be able to.
I'm going to have to look at that and see what it is by the end of that time. But I'm just saying, I could throw a little bit of cash that way. Just because if it hits, it hits. Hey, call me crazy.
You crazy as hell. You crazy as hell. You're the only person. I think the odds are right.
I have Shevchenko, so I'm just saying. I think Montano can survive to a decision. I don't think that's that crazy. Survive. Not win. Not a round. Not a minute. Then we go to the main event where I think this is.
He had money on Lena Landsberg too to beat Cyborg.
That is a lie. That is a bold-faced lie.
Doesn't that seem crazy?
That's crazy. That's different.
And this is what you can't do because I know everyone right now they're so because Henry Cejudo with the Mighty Mouse thing. That's what is in everyone's crawl right now, and that's. You cannot put Montano on anywhere the same level as Henry Cejudo in that fight. Anywhere.
They're both wrestlers.
One of them is Olympic medalist,
gold
and one of them
Take a shot.
was my age when she started wrestling. Not that she can't fucking whoop me up, but I ain't Shevchenko. Okay.
Then the main event, we have somebody who hasn't fought in the 170 pound
I
division.
haven't even picked this fight yet.
For 2 fights against the champ, somebody who's tucked his whole way there against T. Woods, who's coming off of a labrum surgery. Tyron Woodley being the shorter fighter. This being, for me, the line is so off on this. It is -115, coin flip of a fight. And I'm like, how is the champion not a 2-1 favorite right now?
I think Till. There's scary things about Till to me for Tyron
that
Woodley
he's not going to make weight.
No, for him specifically, I think Till. I don't even know if he beat Wonder Boy. to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, Till is a little bit more powerful of a wonder boy with more dangerous kicks. And if T Woods, if that knee eats the same kick that Stephen Wonderboy Thompson ate in the first minute of their fight together, that is a game change. That is a game change of a kick. Everything about Till is the most dangerous matchup in the division for Woodley.
So, what we've seen...
So I'm nervous.
What we've seen, you think this is more of a coin flip. I'm saying T Wood should be all around the better fighter other than specifically the striking. But we've seen T Woods do more to Stephen Thompson than Till did. Till never really hurt. He hurt Thompson once. But we've seen other high-level strikers that T Wood's been able to eat up in there. At 18-3, Tyron Woodley has had many, many fights in the UFC, been a reigning champion for a while now against the 17-0-1 Darren Till. Darren Till is an okay wrestler, has minimal takedown defense. Dalby was able to take down Darren Till.
How long ago was that, though?
That was probably like 2 years ago now. Till has gained, the younger man is growing leaps and bounds, but I do think this is, as we've been saying with other fighters, this is too big of a step up. I guess Stephen Thompson's number 5.
Number one.
Number 1 contender up until Till.
He was number 1 up until Colby got the interim. And then it was like Colby was the interim champ. Stephen Thompson was number... Yeah, it was a whole weird...
I remember we've gone over it multiple times over. It's finally going to be some movement in there. So I'm happy that this is going on because it means belts changing.
Do you think it could get to decision?
I think it could, but I'm not... Yes, there is the possibility for a decision here.
My biggest worry, honestly, is that the UFC dislikes Woodley so much, and we have seen so much sketchy shit go on with decision. I feel like they want Till to be the champion so bad that we could see an ugly decision where he actually gets the belt, even though everybody thinks Woodley won it. I think it's that kind of shit going on now in UFC of this entertainment era. Where have you ever seen a guy push harder than Till?
Francis Ngannou. He was the uncrowned champ.
He was pushed hard to the belt, but he beat all the heavyweight division at the time was the weakest division in the UFC because that was before, I think, well, maybe Chris Cyborg's division. It's just called the Chris Cyborg division.
Yeah.
But other than that, heavyweight was the weakest at the time that he did fight all the guys that he needed to fight to get to the title.
Yeah.
He didn't skip anyone to get there. Like, he knocked out Overeem, and the only one at the time that he didn't fight yet was Verdum, but Verdum was injured.
Something like, yes. But, so with this fight, you're saying, it's a coin flip.
He didn't make weight to get anyway.
Twice. 2 fights in a row.
2 fights in a row that he won, that we all go through. The guy who doesn't make weight wins the fight. If he doesn't make weight this time, T. Woods already said, I ain't taking the fight.
Shev's going to have to be the main event. We are going to have to watch weigh-ins.
He said Till can fight Usman if he wants to. Like, that's the only fight that you're going to see Usman in, is Till fighting Usman. Otherwise, he won't fight. He won't fight Usman, and he won't fight an overweight Till. So they can fight for not his belt, but they can fight for the interim. But he ain't
Colby has that.
Well, the second the bell rings, Colby's
stripped. What a world in MMA we live in. But I do think that Till can bring pressure, and anybody who's brought pressure into T. Wood's face, he has a heavy overhand right. Ask Robbie Lawler. Ask a few other guys out there. Woodley can put a good game plan together. Till can put a good game plan together. I think Till can still potentially be the champion, but T. Wood has beat better fighters than Till at this point.
Do you think Till will be the champion one day? Who's above him besides T. Woods? Wonderboy?
No, we just saw that.
And here's the other thing, too.
Because
I'm surprised we even have this much excitement in our voices, because can you think of anything more boring than T. Woodley's last 3 fights?
I would agree.
And for all the people that are hating on Woodley, can you think of anything second more boring than Till's last fight with Wonderboy? So this fight could be the biggest snooze fest in the whole world.
It really could. It really could. But what I think is going to happen is also with the youth of Darren Till, sometimes he can get a little overzealous.
Never did with Wonder Boy one time.
But it just, what I'm thinking might happen
I was hoping, like all the holes that I want to say, easy, like
the first
Till
time
has
he
a
feels
good
the power.
chin.
Yeah, he does.
He is
But
patient.
he has a good chin when he's overweight.
He's patient AF.
Yeah.
He took Wonder Boy's best shots, got hurt a couple times, made it through those.
Yep. I think T Wood's the
He
way
has
harder
some
hitter.
nasty inside elbows.
Yep.
Nasty inside elbows. The other thing, Woodley's last fight was a Damian Maia that has been beat every single fight since.
But T Woods was one of the few guys to like show everyone else like, oh, this is
I
how
hope
you
so.
beat him. This is
But
how you beat him.
otherwise, it's just he's a guy he beat a guy that's on a losing streak.
On the way
T
out.
Woods also beat Stephen Thompson, a guy that's on a big fat losing streak. So it's like T Woods beats guys on losing streaks, or sets guys off on losing streaks.
Interesting.
I don't know. I'm so scared. I thought I was T Woods all. I don't know why I have so much like
It
devil's
is
advocacy in my brain.
8,100 against 8,100 on DraftKings. I'm going to be putting the current champ on a 5-round fight everywhere because I do think T Woods in the 4th or 5th actually can finish Till. It's probably going to go to decision as you're saying, but for 8-1, these are 5-round fights. Either fighter is going to make his money more than likely in this fight. Maybe not. Maybe if it's not one punch for one punch, but there's so many fun fights this entire fight card.
Darren Till, this is where I'm Woodley decision as well right now.
Okay.
Because I never seen Till beat somebody who wasn't a kickboxer. Till only beats Muay Thai or kickboxers. He only does that, and he only does that sketchily. Because I don't think he beat Wonder Boy last time. So really, all he's done to get where he's at is beat Cowboy Cerrone, everyone. Cowboy.
Yep.
Cowboy don't even have a gym.
I think that is a really good point. As you're saying, though, he's only fought strikers because T Wood does have legitimate championship level takedowns that he has used in other fights, and we haven't seen Till get up off of his back. And all of a sudden, when you got a real wrestler that can throw powerful shots, I think 4th or 5th round, that could play a factor. I have an inside the distance. I think you could play either fighter here at 8-1.
I agree with you. I think he could finish it inside the distance. It's just not Woodley's style to finish inside the distance. He seems to be smarter with keeping his belt. Like he doesn't, he's who risks things, dumb people, and I ain't dumb.
Totally.
So, yeah, I got Woodley as well.
All right, so a quick recap. Who do you have as your underdog pick? It's between Cody Stamann and Nico Price. Both of these guys have been money trains. Price a little bit more, I think. He tends to be the underdog a bit more.
Gosh, I really like both the guys going forward, and I almost feel like since we did 2 shows, could we have 2?
Oh, sometimes we have 0.
Yeah. I feel good about both those guys.
I do feel fairly comfortable as well.
I'm going to have them both on cards.
I would agree with that. The more comfortable I feel like in Price
I do too.
than Stamann.
Let's go with Nico Price. And you know what? This will be the 2nd or 3rd time that Nico Price has been our Leslie Smith underdog pick. He might get the honorary title, or if we change it, could it be the Nico Price? Like if Shevchenko gives up her belt and there's a little change on the show and things going on, could it potentially be the Nico Price underdog?
Pick of the week? I don't know. I don't know.
I know.
We'll have to mull over that. Maybe the fans chime in. What do you think? Can we switch it around?
Do we always stay with Leslie Smith?
Because she's a martyr now.
And if you don't know, now you know. I don't know. But thanks for watching. And yeah, I think it's all been said, right? And make sure you're liking and subscribing. Tell a friend.
Lesbo and The Bean.
Thanks for listening to LaTB. For all things Lesbo and The Bean, head over to lesboandthebean.com or follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.